Hello YouTube, it's your boy, the Frozen Lappy, aka the dude who hasn't rapped in a very long time and is losing all desire to do anything creative at all whatsoever. It's been a hard time, man. And the more I live, the more I realize that we're crushed and we're trapped here. People like me, if there are any left. I'm realizing there are a whole lot of bodies and so few humans. I'm realizing that for us to even have anything of value, we have to work non-stop around the clock. And to work non-stop around the clock, that means to put our dreams to the side. That means to put what we live for to the side. Starting to see that, the few people who are humans really aren't like us. They really don't align with our values. They really don't have, hearts. It sucks. But we've made the decision to stay alive. And we know that it's not worth it, but we want to stay alive just to brag about it. But it's hard to just shut up and live day to day and day to day and day to day. And it's hard with such big hearts to just shut up and take it. And it's something I just can't understand right now. I know how the world works. I've known how the world works for a long time. I've known my fate for a long time. But for some reason, I still feel pain, And now knowing that I'm not the type of person who can actually go through with suicide, I'm having to face something that I never thought I would face. And that's scary. Knowing that there's a very large possibility that the rest of your life could be hell and you have to live out every second of your natural life. That's scary to me. That's very scary. Because for a long time, I've planned to commit suicide. And multiple times, I have tried to commit suicide. Like, really have tried. My mom doesn't care. She doesn't care. But that's really the reality. And now I've come to terms with the fact that I can't. There's something in me that won't allow me to. So, me and people like me, we're living in hell. Pretty much. Because if you ask what hell is pretty chill. But what we as humans understand as hell is just eternal torture. And that's what this is. If we're going to live 80 years, that's a very long time to do this. It's a very long time to live in disappointment and regret and sadness. But the thing is, when you're actually a human, unlike everybody else, unlike 90% of the population on Earth, you have to feel it. You have to feel that pain. Like, I see people all around me going through what I go through, and they don't feel a thing about it. They don't feel a thing. They're not affected. They're not hurt. But for some reason, we are. It's just a lot to think about. My mind is all over the place right now because I know that this is reality. This is reality. We hate this. We really hate every second, every minute of this, basically. And we can't escape it. So what do? How do we take it? You know, I've realized that my situation has never improved. You know, sometimes my perception will heighten, but my situation has never improved, and I have to kind of sink when my brain tells me to sink. And sometimes I don't have the option to not sink because of what life throws at me. Having to work a job, constantly being mentally exhausted, doesn't give you the option to not sink. So I have to ask myself, how do I take it? You know, how do you take it? For the 4 people watching this right now, is there anything that gives you comfort? Is there anything that makes you find peace in this simulation that we're living in? What brings you peace? Do you suffer, or do you convince yourself that it's not suffering? How do you permanently heighten your perspective? How do you feel good about this in an authentic way? But how do you feel good about this in a way that can't be taken from you, depending on the day, depending on the circumstance? That's what I want to know. I know a lot, but I haven't figured out how to navigate life. No matter how hard I try, no matter how much I think about it, I haven't found an answer. And it's been really weird for me for a little while, you know. I've been happy recently. I've had a lot of happy days overall this year, you know, even though this has probably been, I say every year is the worst year of my life, you know. 2019 was, 2014 was pretty terrible. 2015 was pretty terrible. 2016 was, But I've been happy, but I know it's artificial, and I know it can be easily taken away from me just as easily as it's been given. And that's scary. It's very scary. Like, it's hard, you know, to feel and to constantly be optimistic. It's hard to see and be constantly optimistic. I don't get it. I just want to know. I just want to know what is the answer to this. How do you not only survive, but how do you enjoy it? Because we're gonna survive. We're being forced to stay here. But how do we make the most of it? How do we make the best of it? You know? I feel like once we understand all of these things, we've got happiness unlocked. For me, I've made, you know, a routine. Basically, before I had this job, I made a routine of things to do to keep me happy. You know, simple routine. And to do these things every day, you'll be happy. You'll be happy. Like, There's no way that you can't be, because you're pumping yourself with everything that makes humans happy. You know, I took time out to walk outside. I took time out to be physically fit, to journal, to work on my craft, to gain knowledge, you know. And that's artificial happiness right there. It's artificial happiness. And that's really all you need to stay afloat. But what do you do when that's taken away from you? You know, part of me basically told myself that you can't expect to be happy if you don't do these things. But what do you do when you can't? How do you stay afloat when you can? When you basically don't get enough sunlight to make yourself smile? When you're too mentally drained to pour into your craft? What do you do? Especially when you don't have anybody to talk to, you know. What do you do? What keeps you afloat then? Especially if, you know, that's become what you live on a daily basis. What do you do then? You know? And I know there are some people out there who know, because there are some people out there who are doing this and doing this successfully. You know, there has to be a way, I feel like. I know maybe I'm just rambling, but there has to be a way, because honestly, I'm on the brink of just not enjoying life. You know, it's not really, you know, I'm working a job where I'm not challenged at all whatsoever. Everybody I see around me, they're not human, they're just like shells. They're just air breathers. You just breathe air, take up space. And I don't like that. I don't like not having the motivation or the energy to pour into making raps. I don't like that. So how do I put a smile on my face? How do we collectively put smiles on all of our faces when we have no access to the artificial happiness? I worry about myself, you know. Even if I'm not gonna commit suicide, I still want to have like a decent quality of life, you know, and I think we should all want that for ourselves. And if there's no way that we can change the world, and there's no way that we can fix anything, how do we do that? I know there's more to life than just this. I know we aren't supposed to just walk around feeling hopeless and feeling like there's no reason to be here. I know that us coming to this planet and inhabiting these bodies isn't just a trap, isn't just something that we were locked into. I feel like we're supposed to make the most out of this, you know? But I could possibly be wrong. What do I know? I'm a professional SoundCloud rapper. Like, professional depressed SoundCloud rapper with like one brain cell left. What do I know, you know? I have a hopeful way of thinking about this. maybe as I live, as I go on, as I experience what I'm experiencing now, and as I adapt, I find a way, I find some solution to this, you know. There's two sides to a coin, and one of the sides is suicide. What's the other side? How do the people who see it all and feel it all thrive? What is the recipe for a fulfilling experience on Earth? It's a riddle. If I was on like a quest or something and like a magical ogre asked me that question, I'd be like, I don't know. Like, because I have no idea. I'm still trying to figure it out myself, because I don't like waking up like this. I don't like waking up every day and just being like, oh, here we go again. Another day in this body, another day on this planet, another waste of time, another waste of energy, another unfulfilling day. Like, I hate it. I know someone out there does too. And I know plenty of people are looking for the answer. But I'll keep living. I'll keep thinking. And if anything comes to me, which it often does, I'll tell the 3.5 people watching this the answer to life. But got a new song out, Summer 21. Go listen to that. Help me become a famous rapper, so I can save the world and stuff. But yeah, take care of yourself and do whatever you can to stay happy, even if it's artificial. Yeah, just do whatever you can, because living in this world, it ain't easy, man. And it definitely ain't easy for us.